Welcome back to PhatBear Pod this Friday. I'm your host, PB. Today, we're diving back into Bitcoin's latest snooze fest, ranging around 82.5K after Trump tariff sell-off that had the market sweating. The total crypto market cap sitting at $2.65 trillion, down 1.2%, a little haircut, nothing too crazy. 24-hour trading volumes taking a nosedive to 89.8 billion, down 31%. The market's quieter than a ghost town after the recent drama. Bitcoin dominance has ticked up to 62%. That's BTC flexing its muscles, saying it's still the king when everything falls. When dominance rises like this, it's usually a sign the alt-season dreamers are in for a rude awakening. And then there's the fear and greed index, bumping up a measly 1 point at 25 for alt performance. The top gainers are super rare, layer 0, grass, and usual. The biggest losers are Pi Network, Guns, Barachain, and Walrus. Let's sift through the macro news to see what's cooking. The Labor Department's big employment report is dropping tomorrow, and the eggheads are betting on a moderate 200,000 new jobs for March. That's down from February's 254,000, which, let's be honest, was probably juiced by some seasonal hiring, and a few desperate retailers try and move last year's inventory. Economists are calling it solid footing. The unemployment rate? They're guessing it'll stick at 3.8%, lowest streak since the 60s, they say. But immigration's been the secret sauce keeping this Labor Party going. More bodies, more jobs, more spending. But with Trump back in the mix, promising tariffs and deportations, the vibes are getting shaky. Businesses are apparently locked into low borrowing costs from pre-hike days, which is why layoffs are still low. Think of it like hodling through a dip with diamond hands. Consumer spending's holding up too, propping up this whole circus. Macro vibes still all slow and tight, but let's hope things stay stable. Time for some crypto news. The U.S. House Financial Services Committee just gave a big middle finger to central bank digital currencies, CBDC for short, with a 27-22 vote to push forward the CBDC Anti-Surveillance State Act. This bad boy, spearheaded by Minnesota's own Representative Tom Emmer, a Republican with a knack for sticking it to the Fed, wants to slam the brakes on any digital dollar dreams. Why? Because Emmer and his crew see CBDC as the government's shiny new toy for spying on your every transaction. The bill's got some teeth, too. It says the Federal Reserve can't issue a CBDC directly to you or me, no retail digital dollar to track our late-night pizza runs. It also bans the Fed from sneaking one out through banks or other middlemen, and outright forbids using a CBDC to mess with monetary policy. They're pointing to China's digital yuan, which tracks citizens like a dystopian loyalty program, and Canada's 2022 bank account freezes during those trucker protests. The Winklevoss twins' Gemini exchange is packing its bags and heading to Miami, planting a flag in the Wynwood Art District, because nothing screams crypto hub like overpriced lattes and neon murals. They've signed a lease, and if all goes to plan, they'll be sipping mojitos and running ops by May. This isn't just a random flex. Gemini is looking to stretch beyond its New York and European digs, and Miami's a hot spot. Thanks to Florida's no taxes, let's party vibe, and a tech scene that's growing faster than a leveraged long in a bull run. Why now? Well, the SEC's been breathing down their necks since January 2023 over that Gemini earn fiasco, the one where they allegedly peddled unregistered securities like candy at a parade. But plot twist, the legal storm's calming down. Miami's the cherry on top. No state income tax, a governor who'd probably hodl BTC himself, and a vibe that says, come here to build your crypto empire. They're even whispering about an IPO again, after filing confidentially in early 2024. The digital world's staring down the barrel of a quantum reckoning. Those fancy quantum computers are inching closer, and they're packing heat that could shred today's encryption like a paper wallet in a rainstorm. We're talking RSA and ECC, the backbone of everything from your Bitcoin stash to your bank's SSL certs, getting cracked wide open by something called Shor's algorithm. Picture this, a quantum rig solving in hours what'd take your grandma's Pentium 1,000 years. Scary? You bet. But hold your panic cells. There's hope on the horizon, and it's called quantum-resistant cryptography, or PQC if you're into acronyms. This isn't your high school's math. It's next-level stuff promising encryption even quantum computers can unravel. But the bad guys aren't waiting. They're out there right now, hoovering up encrypted data in what's dubbed Harvest now. Decrypt later attacks, grabbing your secrets today to crack them open tomorrow when quantum tech's ready. Next up is some exciting news from the DeFi space. Mantle's out here flexing with their Q2 2025 letter, and oh boy, they've got a laundry list of shiny new toys for their token holders. First up, the Mantle Index 4, MI4 for short, a tokenized index fund that's basically the crypto version of an S&P 500 ETF, but with $400 million anchor investment from Mantle's treasury. It's packing 50% BTC, 26.5% ETH, 8.5% SOL, and 15% stables. Sounds like a hodler's dream, right? A diversified basket that auto-generates yield while you sip your overpriced coffee. Next, they're rolling out Mantle Banking, which they're hyping as a PayFi game changer. The pitch? A crypto-native bank that lets you on and off-ramp with global currencies, pay with Apple Pay, and dip into DeFi yields, all in one app. They're taking a swing at sexes, saying their fees are atrocious and options are limited. I mean, they're not wrong. Trying to cash out on some exchanges feels like paying a ransom to get your own money back. Mantle Banking's got Bybit on board, so there's some TradFi crypto cred there. BlackRock's BUIDL fund just dropped a cool $4.17 million in dividends on Ethereum from March 2025. That's almost double their previous high of $2.1 million from July 2024, and it pushes their total payouts since launch to $25.4 million. Not bad for a fund that's basically a boomer bond with a blockchain glow-up. BUIDL has been a hit with the DeFi crowd. 74% of its action comes from protocols, probably because they're chasing that daily dividend drip Monday through Friday, like it's a stablecoin yield farm that doesn't end in tears. The fund's sitting at $1.72 billion in shares, with 90% of that on Ethereum. Because even when they branch out to Arbitrum, Polygon, and Solana, ETH is still the king of this sandbox. BlackRock's playing the long game, tokenizing TradFi assets and raking in institutional cash. Let's dive into the mess that is Synthetix's SUSD, which apparently decided to depeg not once, but twice this week. Because why settle for one disaster when you can have it as a regular feature? Synthetix's decentralized stablecoin SUSD is supposed to be pegged to US dollar at $1. Keyword, supposed. The stablecoin lost its peg twice this week, once on March 31st and again on April 2nd. What's causing this mess? Well, the SUSD liquidity pool on Curve Finance is a hot mess on March 31st. SUSD made up 75% of the pool, which means users are dumping it faster than you can say depeg. Excess SUSD in the market is putting pressure on the price, according to Fenway, a Synthetix core contributor who's out here on Discord trying to calm the storm. But with no direct mechanism to fix it, it's all down to market confidence and treasury intervention. Translation: if people stop believing in SUSD, it's toast, and Synthetix might have to dip into their piggy bank to prop it up. The airdrop of the day is Echelon Market, a lending platform on Aptos that's promising to supercharge your yields. Echelon Market is a universal lending platform. Its pitch is simple: connect liquidity, lend, borrow, and farm those sweet, sweet yields. It currently offers the best incentives and deep liquidity on the chain. When you supply an asset to Echelon, you're lending out to borrowers, and you earn interest in return. But the real juice is in their incentives. Some pools like USDC give you bonuses like THAPD rewards on top of the base yields. That means you can end up with double the yields. You earn points for lending and borrowing, but borrowing will give you more points. Just watch the borrowing rates if you loop it deep. That's all for this Friday. Catch you tomorrow on the weekend.